San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. It's Thursday, January 4th. It's been a busy news morning. We'll get to that in just a moment.
First, let's check back with Justin about this weather. It's been cold in the morning. We may expect some rain in some areas today.
Yeah, we don't have the rain yet, but it's coming. We'll see more showers and drizzle as we get into the afternoon hours and then into tonight. Almost a sure thing that we'll get at least some light rain around the area. Right now, it's just cloudy. It's going to be another chilly day. Yesterday, we struggled to get out of the 40s. Today will look similar. Let's look at the forecast here. Lots of clouds first half of the day. Then we start to add in those rain chances, 20 to 30% as we head into the afternoon. And I'd say by the evening commute, you're going to be looking at some damp conditions and some wet roads. Again, temperatures hold maybe around 50 degrees or so. And look for those rain chances right on into tonight. Let's take a quick check of the computer models here. And at 5 o'clock, you see some of those showers developing. Then it becomes more widespread. At 10 o'clock, midnight, again, almost a sure thing here that we're going to get some showers and maybe some pockets of moderate rain. But the heavy rain is going to hold off until the morning time, and that really is going to be east of San Antonio. But places like Goliad and Cuero could see a few thunderstorms tomorrow morning. Here's the good news. All clears out tomorrow, and we're looking at a fantastic weekend. So your weather headlines here, drizzle showers later today. Then, as we said, the weekend looking really nice. The sun reappears tomorrow and sticks with us through Sunday. Then we're going to be looking at some very windy conditions coming up on Monday. Gusts to 50 miles per hour possible. We're going to talk all about that storm system here in just a couple minutes. But I know we've had some issues on the roads this morning. Let's get over to RJ now with an update there. Good morning.
Yeah,
sir.
it's been a little busy over our 8 o'clock hour, Justin. And this we just saw now on TransGuide, looking at 281 northbound at the quarry. So I was looking at this earlier. This vehicle was just kind of stopped in the middle of the main lanes here. And now that we have emergency officials here, we do see that this has been reported as a crash out there. So kind of by the quarry, Bassey Road area, kind of Jones-Maltzberger as well. So you can see that we have at least one of the main lanes blocked in this area. Our maps aren't indicating any major traffic delays at the moment. Again, they just arrived out there. Emergency officials just did. So this is something that we'll continue to monitor. But again, northbound lanes 281 at the quarry and Bassey Road, seen an accident out there. Take you further north side here, we had a stalled vehicle being reported westbound Loop 1604 at Redland Road. So, but this earlier it showed that traffic was backing up a little bit, even getting towards Bulverde, but it looks like we are seeing things move a little bit smoothly across the area. The rest of the city, things looking pretty good. Had some issues earlier on 410 and Marbach, Ingram. That has all been cleared out, so that's all good news. Again, this is the biggest thing we're following right now, northbound 281 at the quarry. And of course, we were talking about fog earlier. This is our furthest camera up north there, 281 at Borgfeld Drive, and you see a little bit of that fog there in the distance. So something just keep in mind if you are headed out to the roads later this morning. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ.
Let's look at today's 9 at 9.
Just over a week since the bodies of pregnant 18-year-old Savannah Soto and her boyfriend, 22-year-old Matthew Guetta, were found, San Antonio police arrested a father and son in connection to their deaths. 19-year-old Christopher Preciado is being charged with capital murder. His father, 53-year-old Ramon Preciado, is being charged with abuse of a corpse. Police say the deaths were in connection to a botched drug deal.
While both parties agree there's a problem along the border, they're not agreeing on a solution. Yesterday's visit to Eagle Pass by GOP leaders emphasized that division. House Republicans are pushing H.R. 2, a bill to codify some Trump-era border policies. Meanwhile, the White House says it wants more funding for Border Patrol agents and immigration judges.
The Biden administration taking Texas to court over its controversial immigration law. The new measure signed by Governor Abbott gives local law enforcement the authority to arrest migrants. The filing argues that the state cannot run its own immigration system. This marks the second legal action against the state this week.
The Federal Reserve is on board with the idea of starting to cut back on interest rates this year. In the minutes from last month's meeting, officials indicated lower rates would be appropriate as long as inflation keeps cooling. Fed's Open Market Committee meets next at the end of the month.
Employers across the country still looking for a lot of help, but the 8.8 million job openings in November was the lowest since March of 2021. The new report from the Labor Department also shows the number of people quitting their jobs is down to roughly pre-pandemic levels.
Flight cancellations across the country fell last year to their lowest level in at least a decade. Out of the more than 16 million flights in 2023, the Transportation Department says less than 1.2% were canceled.
Despite high prices and high interest rates, sales of new cars and trucks jumped 12% last year, the biggest increase in more than a decade. J.D. Power says the average price for a new car last month was right around $46,000.
Ford is recalling thousands of F-150 trucks because of a roll-away risk. The recall includes F-150s from 2021 through 2023 that are equipped with the trailer tow max duty package. Ford is working on a fix. The company says drivers who hear a clicking or rattling noise should take their vehicle to a dealership.
The FDA is looking at reports of hair loss, suicidal thoughts, and vomiting that could block airways linked to popular diabetes and weight loss drugs. People who take medications like Ozempic, Mounjaro, Rybelsus, and Wegovy may be at risk for these side effects, but this just means the FDA has concluded that the drug have the listed risk, not necessarily identified it as a potential safety issue. And that's today's 9 at 9.
The big story today, of course, are the arrests of a father and son in connection to the deaths of Savannah Soto, Matthew Guerra, and their unborn baby.
Tiffany Huertas joins us now with some new details that we're learning about the murders and the arrests. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, that's right. Thanks to these arrest affidavits, we know more information, and we've learned more about what led to Savannah and Matthew's deaths and the arrest of 19-year-old Christopher Preciado, who San Antonio police believe is the couple's killer, and his father, 53-year-old Ramon Preciado, who police believe helped hide the bodies. This is the latest of what we've learned about this case. Savannah's family reported her missing to Leon Valley Police on Friday, December 22nd. But San Antonio police have now told us that Savannah and Matthew were killed just before midnight on Thursday, December 21st. SAPD found their bodies 5 days later at an apartment complex on Danny Kaye, in Matthew's car in the parking lot. But police say the complex has no connection to the murders. It's just where the bodies were left. We've been showing the surveillance video that SAPD released last Thursday, but police say the key piece of evidence that led them to the Preciados was Soto's cell phone that was found with the bodies. After following leads for a couple of days, police were eventually led to the Preciados' residence. When officers arrived at the Preciados' house, the father said he knew why they were there, and he and his son were taken into custody. According to the affidavit, 19-year-old Christopher Preciado said Matthew and Savannah drove to his house on Charlie Chan Drive to sell him marijuana, and that Matthew initially pointed a gun at him. However, the investigation states that Christopher's version of events were inconsistent with gunshot wounds to Savannah and Matthew. He claims he wrestled the gun away from both victims and shot them in self-defense. Now, as for the father, 53-year-old Ramon Preciado admitted to driving his truck to the apartment complex after the murders and being the person on the surveillance video. He also placed Christopher as the driver of the vehicle, believed to have belonged to Matthew. Now that the two men are in custody, SAPD says they are working with the Bexar County District Attorney's Office to determine if there will be any further charges since Savannah was pregnant and about to give birth. Also mentioned in the affidavit was that police learned Matthew Guerra was known to sell drugs and used his phone and Instagram to sell them, and that he had been the target of robberies and shootings before. As for the suspects, we checked records this morning, and 19-year-old Christopher Preciado has no criminal history that we've been able to find. The father, Ramon Preciado, did have some criminal history, but nothing since the 90s. And we're continuing to learn more information this morning. We also learned that Ramon Preciado's bond was set at $100,000, and his son, Christopher, has also been set at $1 million. We're going to continue following this story, and we'll bring you the latest online and on KSAT right here.
Tiffany, thank you.
Thank you.
Right now, 9:07, 47 degrees.
And we'll be right back with a look at our morning headlines.
In your morning headlines, some very recognizable names on the list of Epstein associates that just got released, and a judge attacked while she's sending a guy to jail.
Plus another out-of-control craze. And don't worry, if your relationship is a mess this Valentine's, it could still be sweet. David Sears is here to explain all of this in your morning headline.
You can always count on some business coming through for everybody. Doesn't matter. We'll have that for you in just a second. Let's start with it. It has been a highly anticipated list, and it is finally out, the list of associates of Jeffrey Epstein. The first batch of documents with names released last night. A lot of the information in these now unsealed documents comes from court papers, interviews by lawyers representing women who claim to be abused by Epstein. One of the most prominent names is former President Bill Clinton, but one of the witnesses claims Clinton did not have a dinner on Epstein's private island, as some reports had suggested. Other names on the list include Michael Jackson and magician David Copperfield. Epstein died in jail back in 2019. He was waiting trial on sex trafficking charges. His death ruled a homicide. The courtroom in Nevada looks pretty calm right now until a man who's being sentenced loses it and then just takes off, flies over the bench for the judge. That's 30-year-old Deobra Redden leaping over the bench, knocks the judge out of her chair. Sheriff deputies and staff fight him off as the American flag crashes into the bench. Redden was in the middle of pleading his case to the judge, begging her to not send him back to jail. But she pointed out that he had a very long rap sheet. Here's some of that exchange that led to that attack.
3 felonies, a gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs. Got a lot going on, sir.
I feel that I shouldn't be sent to prison for a second time.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history.
Obviously, that didn't sit too well with him. Judge did suffer some injuries, her condition being monitored. One of the staff had to go to the hospital, and Redden is going back to jail. All right, this is one of those things where some of the reaction is, seriously? Yep, some folks are going nuts over these coffee cups. Yeah, Stanley collection. It's, what is it, Galentine's Day? Galentine's Day. It's like they just make this stuff up. They make it up where you can't even pronounce it. Galentine's Day. What is that?
That was not for you, Dave.
Huh?
That was not for you.
Yeah, it's for us. It's for gals.
Galentine. Oh, that's
Yeah,
what that
like
means.
Valentine. Yeah, girls' Valentine.
I got up late this morning. I can't keep it. So anyway, so you get one of these 2 cups at Target.
Yeah.
The problem is there's like a mass rush for these cups. Mayhem ensued in Target. You can check out some of the TikTok videos. They're all over the place now. And apparently Stanley and Target got together to make these cups, but they're a limited edition. And I guess they're all gone. I don't know.
I guess.
Galentine's Day.
Galentine's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why people are grabbing it, Dave.
Yeah, and they're reselling them. You know, everything ends up on eBay. $240 for a cup. Really?
For one.
Seriously?
That's terrible.
Seriously.
All right, so if you're, Galentine is not with you, if you are all alone this Valentine's, things are just a mess. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, there we go. So here's this candy store, Spangler Candy. Look at the bottom. Messages as blurry as your relationship. That's right. So these are all those little hearts, those sugar hearts, that you get, and they all have little messages on them. Oh, be my Valentine. I love you. Well, for those people who are having that messy relationship, all those messages are like blurred out. There's kind of like nothing there. There's could be something there, but there's really nothing there. Kind of like a relationship. There could be something there, but there's really nothing there. Kind of blurry. So go buy them one of those cups, those Galentine cups, and see if that works.
Galentine.
I don't.
Like Valentines and gals.
See, with the candy, you know what happened? They finally figured out what to do with the ones where you couldn't actually read it. And they're like, market them as blurry ones.
Can you imagine?
That's so funny.
There are probably 10 people sitting around a table somewhere in a conference room going, hey, how can we make some money off of people whose relationships are really bad?
Yep. Gonna sell a ton of them. David, thank you.
Thank you. That's right. Valentine's Day. You don't have
You got it.
you got some time to prepare for that. That's next month. For now, January, and feeling like January out there, 47 degrees.
Yeah, it's a little chilly. We still got a lot of cloud cover, and it's going to get damp again later today. So we've already kind of started off January on a wet note, and we're going to have more chances here coming up. Let's take you back outside and show you a live cam here. Temperatures right now are sitting in the upper 40s. 47 degrees at the airport, New Braunfels, Seguin, 43, Bernie, and Kerrville. This looks really similar to yesterday's numbers, and we've got an east-northeasterly wind. A little bit of visibility issues in spots, but fog isn't too terribly bad this morning. Here's a look at the forecast once again. Noontime 50. Cloudy through the lunch hour, but by this afternoon we start to add in those rain chances. It'll be light stuff, drizzly, light showers, but you know that can be a mess on the roads. Temperatures will make their way up to around 52 or so. We'll continue to bring the rain chances up, and so by this evening, you're looking at a 60% chance of rain, and this continues through most of the night. It's not going to add up to a whole lot just because this is the light stuff. It's not going to be like the last rain event where we actually did get some good numbers. This is going to be more just that, again, light drizzle that may add up to 1/10 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch if we're lucky. By 10 o'clock, you see the showers continue to fill in here. And then overnight, rain's a good bet. This is midnight showers continue and maybe pick up a little bit, maybe into some thunderstorms by, say, 4 a.m. tomorrow. But at that point, I think this will be east of San Antonio. And by 7 a.m., the rain's moving out. Clouds are still holding on, but even the clouds start to move out by midday, and then the sun is out tomorrow afternoon. If you're missing the sun, it'll be with us Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Good-looking stretch of weather there. Dew point trend. We get some drier air moving in here by tomorrow. By the way, winds will be a little gusty tomorrow out of the west. We got some dry air. There's a little bit of a fire danger, especially west of San Antonio. We'll monitor that. Dry through Sunday, and then moisture picks up very quickly on Monday, but briefly. And this is out ahead of a storm system that'll be moving in. We're going to talk about that in just a second because this is a monster storm system. In the meantime, this is our first area of low pressure that brings the rain today. You can see it spinning out over parts of New Mexico, and we're getting that moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico feeding into this thing, and that's what's going to lead to those showers today. So this system passes us by. As it moves east, it produces thunderstorms, and this actually will be a pretty big storm system for the Northeast, producing snow up there. But as I mentioned, weekend looks good here, and then here comes that next storm system, and this one is a strong one. It produces snow across parts of Arizona and New Mexico. On Sunday, we're still quiet here, but by Monday, here it comes. We've got to point out several things here. So there is going to be severe weather, we think, along the Gulf Coast. Now, probably just east of San Antonio, but I want to keep an eye on things Monday morning. If we do see some storms, they could be on the strong side, but I'd say the bigger risk for severe weather is going to be Houston over to New Orleans. So that's the first hazard with this system. The other one is going to be heavy snow, not for us, but across the Texas Panhandle. And then you've got very windy conditions behind a frontal boundary that'll be moving through. So that front gets a little bit closer by midday Monday. We could see some showers, still maybe a storm, with the bulk of the heavy weather pushing east. Then as this front comes through, everything clears out. Still snow in the Panhandle, but we get some very windy conditions, and those winds stick with us into Tuesday morning. I want to show you some of the potential wind gusts we could be looking at here. This is midnight Tuesday. Notice we got gusts potentially 45 miles per hour, close to 40 here in San Antonio, and this will pick up even more into Tuesday morning. Some gusts close to 50 miles per hour with this storm system. This is Tuesday at 7 a.m. You see some of the gusts there. And it's going to be no joke. So here's what to monitor with this storm system. A strong storm or two, mainly Monday morning. Then it turns very windy. And then the other side to all this, Wednesday morning with dry air and clear skies, a freeze is possible here in San Antonio. So that's something else to look for behind this system. So here it is in the 7-day forecast. We go 66 Friday, 67 Saturday, 66 Sunday. That's that good weekend. 30% chance of rain Monday. We get up to 70 before the front comes through, but then the temperatures fall behind that. Again, very windy, 58 Tuesday, and then right now I've got 33 Wednesday morning, but I think we could get down to freezing here in town.
Well, it is January.
It is January, yes, but that system on Monday, man, it's a big one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be ready. Thank you, Justin.
9:20, 47 degrees.
And we're going to be right back with a look at some of the deals you can score this month.
The holidays may have come and gone, but there are still plenty of bargains to be had in January. Deal News has a look at where to find the savings in this first month of the new year. And you can start with fitness equipment and gym memberships. Both are discounted as retailers and gyms look to capitalize on New Year's resolutions to get in shape. Look for savings on equipment from Amazon, Walmart, and Dick's, among other retailers. And if you prefer to work out at a gym, watch for discounted rates and sign-up fees that are waived for you to join. Watch for deals on small kitchen appliances in January as well. Retailers often discount items to appeal to people making resolutions to eat healthier or dine at home or during the year ahead. Food steamers and personal blenders are among the products expected to be on sale. As for retailers, last year Best Buy slashed small appliance prices by more than 60% in February. And don't overlook TV deals. While Black Friday is still the biggest period for markdowns on TVs, you can still find savings in January as retailers try and attract people gearing up for the Super Bowl. And winter clothing is also starting to be reduced. Watch for specials from everyone from Eddie Bauer to Lululemon. For more on where to find the savings and bargains in January, check out the full story at dealnews.com.
For many of us, it's time to take down the Christmas tree, but there are other options than leaving it on the curb.
ABC's Danny New has an idea for us, and it's pretty cute.
There it is.
Now that it's almost time to recycle your Christmas tree, I know someone who will gladly take it off your hands. Yes, goats. It's becoming more and more of a national tradition as farmers around the country tell their neighbors, hey, leave the pine with us.
They have lots of vitamins, and they also act as a natural dewormer.
They know being held upside down means food.
I spoke with Mike and Paulina in Oregon, who became goat farmers in the last year. They started with one, actually, and now...
We just casually have 9 goats, Danny.
Well, as of last week, now the whole world has met all 9. Mike and Paulina posted this video to Instagram on Christmas morning as they gifted their tree to the goats next to a sign that said Christmas Tree Cleanup Crew. A week later, the video has almost 26 million views.
Did you think it was going to get that big?
No, that page is just for our family and friends.
Well, their goats clearly enjoyed the tree as much as folks love seeing them eat it. But sadly, the goats didn't get any more donations.
We talked to the neighbors right after, and they said they totally wanted to, but none of them had real trees.
Poor Marco and Polo, yes, those are the real names, didn't get any extra Christmas trees. Nor did Creme Brulee here. Yes, that's also a real name. But good news. It sounds like Mike and Paulina are going to be all set for next year, thanks to how many direct messages they've received from strangers offering their trees.
How many of those have you gotten?
We lost count.
I don't even check my DMs anymore.
I know it goes without saying, but I just want to let you know, one thing farmers stress is that when you donate the tree, please make sure all decorations are removed from it. That would be really helpful when the goats eat it. In New York for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be bad. Goats and glitter or the icicles.
Well, my worry was the little hooks.
Right.
That you put on the ornaments to make them stay. And
right.
I'm like, what if you don't properly take it out? Poor little goat. Like, oh.
That's right. And our producer's telling us that Chip and Joanna Gaines from Fixer Upper did the same thing at their place up near Waco.
Waco, yeah. And it's gotten a lot of feedback on social media.
I also saw a picture the other day of a fancy new house, and in their great room where the tree was, there's a custom closet that's as tall as the tree, and they just slide the tree with the ornaments into this
with the ornaments
behind the wall, basically.
That's neat if you can do that. Yeah.
But it was like one of those big, huge parade of homes type homes.
Oh yeah, where they're prepared for Christmas, I guess.
Yeah,
wow, that's interesting.
Well, 927, 47 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back, 931. Have you noticed a lot more out-of-state license plates around here lately? I have, especially leading up to holidays. It seems like I was seeing a ton from California and then quite a few from Florida as well, in and around San Antonio. Well, it makes sense. U-Haul now says more people moved to Texas than any other state in the union in 2023.
That's right, moving, not just visiting. So it's the third year in a row that the Lone Star State topped U-Haul's Growth Index report. So each year, U-Haul calculates the number of one-way trips of its trucks to and from each state. So Texas had a net gain of about 174,000 people back in 2023. so long ago. Number 2 on the list was Florida, followed by North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Now at the bottom, California. The report provides a snapshot of do-it-yourself movers.
I actually thought it'd be more than 174,000.
Oh, really?
People coming via U-Haul.
It's a lot.
Yeah, and more to come this year.
Yes, and it doesn't account for other rental companies or when people hire a moving company.
U-Haul says the report does not correlate directly to population or economic growth, but is a decent indicator of maybe some trends.
Yeah, I think people may move here for the nicer weather that we have late fall, kind of like this time of year, and
Our
spring.
winters are pretty short, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Maybe they like that.
Well, and why wouldn't you want to come to Texas? I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of the best. Just say.
Not that we're biased.
Not at all, but it's the best. One thing people probably don't move here for, though,
Oh, yeah.
the pollen. Mount Cedar, yeah. Look, the numbers have come down quite a bit, so we're in much better shape than we were. Mount Cedar is moderate at 190. Keep in mind, it was very high just a few days ago, so the rain has done wonders for us, and with more rain today, we should see these numbers continue to decline a little bit. They'll probably pick up next week, though. Molds are low at 170. And as we look at the satellite picture, interesting to see we are getting some breaks trying to work their way up I-37 there, so we may see a few peaks of sun here over the next, say, 30 minutes or so here in San Antonio. We'll keep an eye on that. But for the most part, it's going to be overcast, and that'll keep temperatures on the cooler side. 47 right now. Notice where we are seeing the sun. Temperatures have bumped up to 51 in Pleasanton and Kennedy. Around Bexar County, we're in the upper 40s, even down at Stinson, 48 degrees there. Okay, rain chances today, they do pick up. 20% as we head towards the afternoon, and then the evening hours, they really jump up. It's going to be light stuff, drizzle, light showers, but we know that can cause issues, especially during the evening commute. So we want to give you a heads up there. Have the umbrella with you today before we head into a really nice weekend. Look at that forecast and our next rain chance, too, coming up here in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Quick update right now on outbound traffic. We had a minor accident reported, and it's taken them about a half an hour to start to get things cleared up. But you're looking at 281 at the quarry. You've got one main lane on the right side and the shoulder currently blocked. This call came out at 8:52. Here we are, 9:34. So we still have some crews out there, but that should be clearing very soon. RJ's keeping an eye on it, too. 2024 will be a very busy one at the Cadena Reeves Justice Center here in San Antonio. There are dozens of cases to keep up with.
Erica Hernandez gives us a breakdown of some of the bigger ones to watch for this year.
There will be no shortage of courtroom drama in 2024. Damian Campbell, who was charged with the deadly attack at a Diesel barber shop in 2020, could be heading to trial next month. He is facing up to life in prison if found guilty. Several child abuse cases are expected to get trial dates this year. Jose Ruiz was expected to go to trial last month, but his case has been moved to March. Ruiz is charged in the horrific child abuse case involving the death of 5-year-old Mercedes Lozoya. According to the arrest affidavit, Lozoya had injuries on every visible part of her body. Her mother, Katrina Mendoza, was also charged but accepted a plea deal in exchange for her testimony against Ruiz. Nicole Aguilar and her boyfriend Daniel Garcia were charged with the death of her 5-year-old son, Dominic Aguilar Acevedo. His body was found in a ravine in Colorado in the summer of 2021. Aguilar is expected to go to trial first in early March, and Garcia expected to go to trial in May. We can also expect a conclusion in the case of Delaney Chairez. Chairez is accused in the death of her 18-month-old son, James. Baby James disappeared in January 2021, and his remains were found 4 months later underneath the trailer he lived in with his mom. Last year, a deadly dog attack took the life of 81-year-old Ramon Nájera. The owners of the dogs, Christian Moreno and Abilene Schneider, right now are scheduled to go to trial in March. Both face a charge of injury to the elderly and dangerous dog attack resulting in death. We will also be seeing several police officers in the courtroom. James Brennan, who is accused of shooting a teenager in a McDonald's parking lot, can go to trial, but it still hasn't been determined if that trial will take place in Bexar County or moved. Also, we will be following the case of Alfred Flores, Elizar Alejandro, and Nathaniel Villalobos. The three were charged in the shooting death of 46-year-old Melissa Perez. Flores and Alejandro were charged with murder and Villalobos with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. They will make their first court appearance later this month. And finally, while it may not go to trial this year, the capital murder case of Stephen Clare is one we will still be following. Clare is accused of attacking his ex-wife and 2 young daughters, killing one of them. We could soon find out if the district attorney's office will be pursuing the death penalty in this case. If so, an actual trial date may not come anytime soon. Now, these are just some of the cases we will be following this year. You can follow along with those cases as well by visiting the court page on our website or signing up for the Open Court newsletter. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
E-cigarettes and vape pens aren't supposed to be for kids, but they're in the hands and lungs of many high schoolers anyway.
A new state law, though, is hoping to curb advertising that some believe is targeted at kids. Our Garrett Berger asked some officials at local schools if they think it'll help.
Splashed with bright colors and offering an array of flavors, most vapes don't look much like a pack of smokes, even if they are supposed to be for the same people, adults.
When it's so overt and explicit in who they're targeting, I'm glad that Texas took action in this case.
As of January 1st, it's illegal in Texas to market or sell e-cigarette products in containers that show cartoon characters that mimic ones aimed at minors, that mimic the trademark or look of kids' products, that include symbols primarily used to market to kids, that include a celebrity's image, or include an image of food, like candy or juice. Northside and Northeast ISDs have both had hundreds of vaping violations this school year. Both districts hopeful this could help.
Hopefully, because we are working on that intervention side, we'll get some traction. I'm optimistic.
I think a little bit of trickling in of different pieces that all come to an amalgamation of one larger holistic, lowering the numbers.
Though a marketing professor tells us it would be long-term dividends.
I mean, look at when we enacted legislation on cigarettes and smoking. It took decades for that to filter down.
But the law also specifies this is about nicotine. The majority of both districts' vape cases this year have been for THC.
If we thought about this in a sense maybe 20 years ago, where you have students who are using marijuana in the bathrooms to the same level that they use these vapes in our bathrooms, you would have a community outcry at this point.
Another part of the vape cloud floating over schools across the country. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Well, San Antonio is a gold medal city. Out of 75 big cities across the U.S., the Alamo City was one of just 7 to receive a gold medal for public health policies. That data compiled by City Health, which follows and ranks nationwide policy solutions.
Our Courtney Friedman spent the day breaking down each category that won us a gold medal, as well as the areas that still need some work.
Yeah, this is a big deal. Last year, we got an overall bronze medal, which is the lowest ranking. This year, San Antonio was the only Texas city to receive this gold medal. It means we're passing policies that improve the health and well-being of our community. Here's how it works. The data collection agency City Health says a city has to excel in at least 5 of 12 policy areas.
San Antonio's 5 gold medals for 2023 are in Affordable Housing Trust, which is investing in building and maintaining affordable housing for everyone. Green space, ensuring all families, not just a few, have access to the benefits of public land and nature. Healthy food purchasing, making sure everyone has access to healthy food in public places where we work, play, and learn. High quality, accessible pre-K, safe spaces paving a way to high school graduation and beyond. And smoke-free indoor air, including casinos, gaming venues, and bars.
Most health departments across the United States are still under-resourced, yet we're in a community where there's strong support by the local leadership, but also we've taken advantage of some federal grants.
Metro Health Director Claude Jacobs says they're surviving the ripple effects of COVID.
There are some areas where San Antonio has slipped in the last couple of years, like the complete streets category, making our roads more accessible and safe.
We heard some of that in KSAT's Know My Neighborhood segments.
There's chunks of the sidewalk just gone.
We have to be careful. As a matter of fact, we're going to move this interview off a little bit because I don't feel safe.
I get nervous when trucks pass by with the big old mirrors.
It is a year-long endeavor. Some of these policies we realize will take a little longer, but for now we'll focus on the policies that we have shown to be most effective here in San Antonio.
The goal this year, improving enough to hold on to that gold. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
941, 47 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
Let's look out there with Zoob Cam, Flamingo Cam this morning. There they are. Got to see them in person last week. They look a lot more pink in person than
Oh,
they
do
do
they?
in our camera shot. Yeah.
Did you see the hippos too?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I got. The only, you know what? I didn't see the whooping crane,
Okay.
but I did get to see the flamingos. So, hello, flamingos! It's a great day to go to the zoo.
Let's go outside with live cam on our Thursday morning. Lots of clouds out there. We're waiting on some showers again.
Yeah, rain's going to move back in a little bit later today. Not now. You probably are safe through lunchtime, but have the umbrella with you because I think by the evening hours it kicks in. It's light drizzly stuff, but it will probably add up at least a little bit over time. Let's go and take a look at the high temperatures for today. Because we've got the clouds and some rain probably too, temperatures only make their way up to 52 today. That's about where we were yesterday, so this is not a big warm up. Places in the hill country will be in the 40s. It will be a little bit warmer to the south, especially if we get a little bit of sun, and that's a possibility, but if you do see some sun, probably won't last very long. Let's look at the forecast here. So by 5 o'clock, here come the showers. This is the light showery situation, and then by 10 o'clock, the showers may start to pick up a little bit. This is midnight. It does show maybe some more moderate rain starting to kick in. We could see anywhere from a tenth to maybe a quarter of an inch of rain adding on to what we've already seen this month. Again, this is good stuff. And then the showers will start to push east by 4 o'clock. We could even see a few thunderstorms across our far eastern counties, but I don't anticipate that here in San Antonio. And by tomorrow morning, by the morning commute, probably dry out at this point. The rain will be pushing east, and then we'll wait on the clouds to clear. And I think that happens by tomorrow afternoon, and then the sun sticks with us rest of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it times out well here if you've got weekend plans. It'll be really nice. As for today, though, 20% chance of rain, 1, 2 o'clock, and then we start to step that up. By the dinner at time hours, we'll see the rain chances at 40 to maybe even 60%. So it starts to kick up, becomes likely overnight. 47 right now and cloudy. Easterly winds at about 7 miles per hour. And most spots are reporting cloudy skies right now across the area. And as we look at the satellite picture, it's really only here across parts of Wilson and Karnes County and then down along I-37 that we're seeing any sun. Everyone else is cloudy, but no rain just yet. As we zoom out, we can see where this storm system is out over parts of New Mexico. Snow flying in places like Albuquerque and the snow, or the ski resorts, I should say, up across parts of New Mexico, getting some snow. But as this moves east, it'll tap into some Gulf moisture that's moving in, and that's what will help to create the rain. This system quickly moves east. It will create more thunderstorms across the southeast, and it will turn into a pretty big snow maker for the northeast. That could cause some travel issues. But as far as the weekend is concerned, again, everything looks good here. We'll be in between systems. Then we'll be watching for our next system, which will take shape out over the west this weekend and then push towards us on Monday. We're going to see multiple hazards with this storm system as it moves into Texas. There is a risk for severe weather out ahead of it, and that's going to be mainly Monday morning into Monday evening. For us, it'll be a small window, I think, early on Monday, and probably east of us, but we need to keep an eye on this. The severe threat then will push east towards New Orleans. Behind the system, there will be heavy snow across parts of the Texas Panhandle, and then it will turn windy out across parts of West Texas. By midday, we're still seeing that small window for rain, but it quickly closes. And then by the evening hours, for us, the big story is going to be very gusty winds. And that will continue right on into Tuesday morning. We could see gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour, okay? Maybe even up close to 50 miles per hour. It's because this system gets really wound up. We got a very tight pressure gradient. And even Tuesday morning, it'll be chilly, and we'll be looking at gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. So we want to alert you of that. Of course, not till next week, but it is going to be a big deal. And if you have not put those Christmas decorations up yet, you'll want to do it before those winds hit. 66 tomorrow, 67 Saturday, 66 on Sunday, and then Monday is when we start to see that storm system move in. 30% chance of rain, showers, maybe a few storms early, and then the winds kick in. The other thing we have to look at Wednesday morning, down to 33, and I think some places around San Antonio will get down to freezing.
Very cold.
Yes.
Thank you, Justin.
All right, it's game day, folks. Milwaukee Bucks in town. Bucks at Spurs tonight, 6:30 over at Frostbank Center. Malachi Branham is listed as doubtful with an ankle injury. Go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go. The time now, 9:50 and 47 degrees for now.
Movie industry kicking off 2024 with a scary flick. When we come back, a look at the new movie Night Swim that will have you thinking twice before playing Marco Polo again.
Ooh.
Who said scary movies are only for October?
One of the first movies arriving in theaters in the new year plays on the fear of something being in the water with you.
CNN's Rick Damagello gives us a look at Night Swim, coming to theaters tomorrow.
Marco.
Polo.
A backyard swimming pool becomes a source of terror in Night Swim.
My kids have seen things, and I'm worried something is happening to my husband.
Carrie Condon's love of swimming drew her into the role and didn't change after filming.
I still love swimming. I still go swimming all the time. It didn't change my feeling of it. If anything, like, it made me want to do more underwater camera stuff, because I really enjoyed it. There has to be some way to stop this.
Can we scare other people with this irrational phobia that we have around this small body of water that shouldn't be scary and yet somehow kind of still is, even in your adulthood?
Producer Jason Blum shared this wisdom with the cast.
Jason said he came to set the first day. He said something that resonated with. I've done my fair share of horror things, and it is consistent. The more fun you're having on set, and the lighter it is on set.
Yeah, that's it.
The better the movie will end up being.
Some of those lighter moments behind the scenes won't be seen on screen.
We all had a laugh when we would show up some days when the ghosts are there, and you just see ghosts floating in a pool with kiddie floats under their arms, just floating around.
Marco.
Watching with the lights on in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
That's the way you play it, right, Justin?
Okay.
So scary.
Scary? You think so?
That last part, yes.
I don't know about
If you heard that when you were out swimming.
All right, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
All right, maybe. There is a chance for some showers today as we get into the afternoon and this evening, but things will clear out by tomorrow morning, and we'll see temperatures in the 60s tomorrow.
A lot of people grew up playing Tetris, and there's a first. Have you heard about this yet? A 13-year-old who plays under the name Blue Scooty is the first human ever to beat Tetris by reaching its so-called kill screen.
Yeah, that's right. So he credits his win to up to 5 hours of practice every day and a technique that lets him use the controller at a super fast pace.
There's a little clip. That's where he beat it right there.
He's losing his mind. He's like,
Let's be clear. He did something that was absolutely unbelievable. Also on our website right now, KSAT.com, is a list of the biggest concerts to look forward to in 2024. And a lot of them we talked about when we previewed what's coming up at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo.
Yeah, that's right. So we have a lot of bands going there. We also we have Drake coming for 2 days.
Diana Ross, Mark Anthony. Let's see what else here. Luke Combs, we already talked about that one. Blink 182, Def Leppard, Iron Maiden, whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and some shows going to the Pearl as well.